Okay, hey grandbabies. I make these videos for my grandkids because one day I'm not gonna be here, and this way they got. And I don't take pictures like that. I realized that a while ago that I don't have. There's not a lot of pictures of me for them to have, so they'll have videos, and they all use YouTube. So that's just why I do these. But hey, today is Saturday. I think it's the 24th. They're going to be doing DMX Memorial today at 4 o'clock. So you know, Grandma's going to be watching that because I love me some DMX. Tupac and DMX. Couldn't get enough of those two gentlemen. Um, I'm sure some of you are old enough to see what's going on in the world. The cop situation and always having a reason to disrespect people of color. That's how I take it, because a lot of these are just things that could be avoided. Some of them can't, but some of them can be avoided. If you pull me over for a traffic violation, don't up the ante. Give the person the ticket and let them go. But that's not what they're doing. They're wanting you to get all out your car. They're wanting to ask you 21 questions. And then they want to disrespect you. And basically that's exactly what they're doing. You can't just disrespect somebody and expect that person, just because they are not law enforcement, not to feel some type of way about it. At the end of the day, a man is still a man. Treat him as such. A woman is still a woman. Treat her as such. If you treat a criminal with respect and they treat you with respect, then everybody go home that day. But that's not what they're doing. So, in this day and age, it's hard to tell you guys how to do it, because growing up, we didn't have these problems. We always knew there was racism. We just didn't have a lot of it in your face on TV. We didn't have videos of it. We didn't have videos of live murders. You guys are seeing that. So, and a lot of my grandkids are going to be driving soon enough. And I just want you guys to be careful. I want you guys to, when you get your license, take yourself to the police department in your town and find out what is what. When is your officer supposed to tell me what he's pulled me over for, versus being confrontational when I ask you? If I ask him and he doesn't tell me, what should I do after that? At the end of the day, we have rights, but each state has different rights. So you have to know what your rights are in your area. To my grandsons who are going to be driving soon, a policeman is more than likely going to pull you over for something. Don't know if it's going to be a legit pullover or just a pullover to find out what you got going on and what's happening in what you're doing. So for you too, you also need to go to the police station when you get your license and ask to speak to somebody who knows something and say, I need you to tell me what my rights are as a citizen in this city, in this state, in this county. If your police officer pulls me over and doesn't tell me what I'm pulled over for, why is that? When is he supposed to tell me what I'm pulled over for? Do I have to answer his questions? Can I just give him my ID and information, my license, registration, and insurance, and go on? Do I have to answer his other questions? I, myself, don't think so. But you need to find out for yourself what your rights and responsibilities are as a citizen. So, if they don't follow what they're supposed to do, you do what you're supposed to do, give them what they ask for, then after that, you file a complaint like you're supposed to do. At the end of the day, your parents just want you to make it home alive. We want you to enjoy your life without somebody taking it from you. Oh, Grandma's just making her some spaghetti. I like to make me some spaghetti, so. And for the girls, same thing with you. You all need to know when you're driving, and really when you're walking. When you're walking around town, have some type of ID on you, because you never know who's pulling you over. Like some of your fathers have been in situations But luckily, the policemen in Newberry County, where this happened, they did their job. That's all they did. They may have talked a little smack, but they did their job. Everything wasn't a beat up a person, disrespect a person. It wasn't that type of situation with the cops that my sons dealt with. You just want to make sure the cops that you're dealing with are the same. I don't know about the new cops. You know, at the end of the day, you just have to be careful. Now, on to other things. Yep, like I said, she's just making up some spaghetti. Y'all know that spaghetti is my thing. I love to make spaghetti. I love to eat spaghetti. Love me some spaghetti. I don't know why it's my favorite dish. I'm like a black Italian. Who knows? If I can eat anything, spaghetti, pizza, lasagna, I'm good. Some things I'm not supposed to eat because I have been diagnosed as a diabetic. But you all know, am I still going to eat what them I still want to eat? I'm, trying to do better so I can stay around to see you all graduate, have kids, get married. Well, my Jaden says he's not having children, so I'm just waiting around to see if he gets married with his little mean self. But, yep, my Jaden said he's not having kids, and I said, why Jaden? I think, and one time he said because they spend a lot of money. And he would know because his mother spends a lot of money on him. So him and his little brother, his mother spends a lot of money on them, so he would know about spending money. Another thing I want to talk about, my grandson Jaden asked me about being adopted and what that means. So what that means, Jaden, is we're in Newberry, and I have sisters and brothers here. As you know, they're your aunts. That means that one of their parents was my parent, created me. So I was created by a set of people who have had other kids. But when I was a little baby, my aunt, from what I understand, came down and asked my biological mother, could she adopt me? And my biological mother, having other kids already, and my aunt didn't think she could have any because she has been with my father, or my daddy, the one who raised me, Clarence Anthony, for years. They lived in New York for years, and they didn't have any kids. And they were trying. They didn't have any. So, unlike today, there was no going to a doctor, getting in, creating a baby, having them insert the baby. There was none of that. And if there was no money for that. So, she asked my biological mother, could she raise me? My biological mother agreed. So that's what it means. My aunt was turned out to be my mommy, and I had a mother. I had a mother that was Nancy, and I had a mommy that was Josephine. I had a father, and I had a daddy. My daddy was Clarence Anthony. When I had the flu, there was Clarence Anthony and Josephine. When I got suspended from school, Clarence Anthony and Josephine. When people were trying to fight me, Clarence Anthony and Josephine outside with me. So once she adopted me, about a year or two later, she comes up pregnant with Uncle Kevin. Lo and behold, now I have a baby brother. Even though I have a couple of baby brothers. One of my baby brothers passed away, Uncle Stanley. So most of you guys were here for that. So you guys know that Uncle Stanley was my baby brother. So you know who my sisters and brothers are here. I'm not going to put their names on here just because you all know. So my mother, growing up, always talked to me about it and always wanted to know how I felt. And I never felt any type of way because I always knew that we were, at the end of the day, always family. I just hated when people always tried to make me, I don't want to say Nancy never made me try to make a choice. But people, when I used to come down for the summers and, I would be introduced, and they would always be like trying to make me pick by saying, so your mother Nancy, no, my mommy is Josephine. You know, the one who worked 3 jobs to raise me, to clothe me, to make sure I had what I wanted, to make sure Kevin had what we wanted. She worked 3 jobs. My father was a hustler. Not going to deny that. He was in the Army. He was honorably discharged. So he left the military when he met my mother. They moved from New York to New London, Connecticut. And that was the best thing for me. I had the greatest childhood I could possibly have. So I'm never mad about my childhood. My childhood was great. I got to do what I want, when I wanted to do it. I had great friends. We got in trouble, but we were not terrible kids. We were just kids who thought we were grown and doing whatever we wanted to do. We went to, unlike what you guys can do, we got to go to house parties. We got to go to clubs. We got to go to all-night skate. We got to do all these fun things as teenagers living in New London, Connecticut. I'm sure, most of my friends were people of color. We had, white friends also, but they were more on my side acquaintances until I met your Aunt Priscilla. But most of my white friends were people that you knew from school. I didn't have a best friend that was white. My best friends were black. I had some good friends that were Puerto Rican. We had Puerto Ricans in New London. We didn't have people of Mexican descent too much in New London. We had Puerto Ricans. So that's who we rolled with. We didn't, walk around. Racism wasn't a thing that we dealt with every day. We got to go to the beach. In New London, we have a park called Ocean Beach. It's an actual beach. We got to go there for summers. We got to take the city bus. We got to walk around the town without being harassed by the police. We weren't asked where we were going. We weren't stopped like you guys are today. It was just a different time. So growing up where I grew up, I had a great childhood. I got to go where I wanted. My mother worked 3 jobs to make sure we had whatever we needed. My father did what he did. And we ate fine, and we dressed fine, and we drove nice cars, and our apartment was decked out. Whether it was right or wrong, that's what he did to make sure his family got to eat. He was not the best husband, but he was the best father for me. I got, my tail beat from skipping school. My girl Sheena, I'm hiding up under her bed in her house, and she held me down. No, she not here. No, she not here. Her name is Sheena Norman. She held me down. But, I was caught skipping school. Dema was not innocent at all. I had, like I said, at the end of the day, there's nothing about my life that I can complain about. Not one thing. So I want you guys to realize what your parents are doing for you are the best that they can do for you. No, we didn't live in a condominium. We didn't own a house. But I had everything I needed to have a happy life. I had food every night when I went to sleep. And I mean, unlike me who don't like to cook, my mother cooked. She was from the South. She cooked. It would be a plate with 5 different things on that plate. And you had to clean that plate. And then you got dessert and you got a drink, and it was homework and time to take your tail to bed. That was my life. I got to do what I wanted to do with my life as long as I was a good kid. I didn't stay on punishment a lot. Got my ass beat. I did get my ass beat because, I have a mouth. I was never disrespectful. But in them streets, my mouth would get me in trouble. And if they call my father, that's one thing about my father. You're going to get your ass tore up, but they not going to know that. He going to let you tell him what your child did, and he going to tell you to get in the car. He going to handle it. Our shit was never in the street because that's not how he handled it. I ain't get my ass beat in the street. He wasn't going to tell nobody I'm going to fuck her up, I'm going to beat her ass, none of that. When I got home, I got my ass beat for disrespecting an older person. So that was not what we were raised to do. But like I said, I take after him. My mouth is foul when I want my mouth to be foul. Other than that, I had a lot of great times growing up. I want you guys to have a lot of great times. I want you guys to have a lot of fun times. Have fun with your parents. Have fun with your friends. If you're everybody has multiple friends. I had friends that we like to go to clubs. We threw parties. We threw house parties. We drank, we had beer. We drank. We had keg parties, what they used to call kegs back in the day. We had those type of parties. So we had a great life growing up. Then you had some friends who were churchy. That's fine. I went to church too. I didn't stay in the church, but I know who I am, and I know at the end of the day, I've never done anything that God cannot forgive me for. So I'm not saying I'm going to church and I'm going to behave and I'm going to be in these streets and I'm going to be always respectful. That wasn't who your grandmother was. But I was raised to be respectful. I was raised in the church. Just because I didn't stay in the church don't mean I don't still have the same morals. I have the same understandings as everybody else. I'm a good person until you cross me. When you cross me at this age, and even when I was younger, my father always said, listen, fighting, you do that if they put their hands on you. But other than that, if a person do something to you that you don't like, that's why everybody does not live together. You ain't gotta fuck with them ever again. You don't gotta say hi, bye, how you doing, none of that. So everybody that do something to you, you don't gotta fight. Act like they're not alive and move on with your life. Because at the end of the day, if they're not in your family, if they're not feeding you, if they're not making you money, if they're not making your mama and daddy happy, who are they? So I always grew up knowing that, people are going to betray you, people are going to hurt you, people are going to talk about you. Let them talk. If somebody's talking about you, that means you're doing something. So don't go fighting because somebody's talking about you. Fight when they roll up on you and they put your hands on you. That's when you fight. Other than that, walk away, drive away, do whatever you got to do. It ain't that serious because at the end of the day, when I leave here, you're at the back of my mind. So, and that's what I like for you cousins to understand, that you guys are family. You have other cousins that you guys are going to meet as you get older, and you're going to, roll with them, love them. But at the end of the day, just try to enjoy your life. Don't go places where shit gonna pop off. If you went to a club and the last time there was a shootout the time you didn't go, don't go there no more. If you old enough to want to get together with your homeboys and have a good time and y'all just sitting around and chill, do that. Pick friends who want to have the same kind of fun you have. Don't let people get you in trouble, and don't get your friends in trouble. If you know a certain friend, mother wants them home at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, help your friend get home on time. This way that parent doesn't say, I don't want, you hanging with my kid because every time he hangs with you, he doesn't listen to me. Be a big brother to your friends, as long as they're acting like big brothers to you. That's all I have to say for today. Goodbye, grandbabies. See you later.